Good morning and thanks for joining the Zoom2u Technologies Q3 FY23 quarterly results and business update webinar. My name is Georgia Katos and I'm a member of the marketing team at Zoom2u Technologies. I'm joined today by the CEO and founder of Zoom2u, Steve Orenstein, and CFO Michael Gayst, who will be presenting the Q3 FY23 quarterly results and providing an update on the group's businesses. The quarterly activities report and the Appendix 4C were lodged with the ASX this morning. Following the presentation, we've allocated time for a Q&A session. If you would like to ask any questions, please use the Q&A function located at the bottom of the screen. I will now hand over to Steve to take you through today's presentation.
Thanks Georgia. Welcome everyone and thanks for joining us this morning. We're happy to present our results over this last quarter. I'll just share my screen and get started. Okay. Excellent. So today I'm very pleased to present our results for Q3. We had a really good quarter, and I think what we've seen is some really encouraging growth on the Locate2u business. Locate2u revenue was 465, up 30% from the prior from the prior period of Q2. Group revenue was 1.2, 6% growth over the period of Q2. And our operating cash activities was negative 700K, so it's reduced from that prior period of 1.3 million. So it's really great to see that the work that we've been doing internally and being able to reduce our cash burn has really shown in these results. Cash at the end of the period was 4.5 million. So overall, you know, this was a quarter of growth. There was new customers that were added, but also the work that we've been doing over the previous quarter in sort of reducing our cost base and optimizing our cost base is what you're seeing in the numbers that we're presenting today. What I will do now is pass over to Michael Gayst, our CFO, just to run through sort of the further details on the revenue and cash position.
Thanks, Steve. As Steve mentioned, our revenue for the quarter was 1.2 million, which was 6% over Q2. Q2 generally being the busiest period for the Zoom2u business. So that was encouraging to see we had quarter-on-quarter growth. But a lot of the growth was actually achieved through the Locate2u business. As Steve mentioned, we signed some new customers, but we've also been focusing on upselling to existing customers, and Steve will mention a few of those. Very encouraging to see customers who have started off trialing the product, buying more licenses and generating more revenue for us, which is a real show of confidence in the product. Next slide, Steve, please. As Steve mentioned, we significantly reduced our cash burn in the quarter. It's very pleasing. It's what we've been trying to achieve and hopefully will continue. For the quarter, our cash receipts were higher than our revenue, almost 1.5 million. This is primarily due to a decline in Zoom2u debtors from the seasonal peak in December. Payment for operating expenses was significantly lower this quarter versus last quarter. They were 2.5 million last quarter and they've reduced to 2.1 million this quarter. And Steve will take you through some more detail around where those costs have been saved. We did receive some training grants from the New South Wales government, and we paid a full quarter of interest on the Pure Finance facility, which led to the net cash outflows from operating activities of about $684,000. In terms of investing activities, payment for intellectual property primarily reflects the software development costs we capitalised in the quarter, and it's the amount in Q3 is relatively consistent with Q2. There were no financing activities in the quarter. So in terms of cash movement, we started the period with 5.4 million in cash. We spent about 700,000 on operating activities and around $200,000 on investing activities, which resulted in the ending cash balance of 4.5 million at the end of March 2023. And the cash on hand at 31 March implies nearly 7 times the cash used in operations for the quarter. On the right-hand side, we've just dramatically put out the reduction in our cash burn from operations. It's $1.6 million in Q1. We've got that down to below $700,000. So that's a significant saving in 6 months. And as Steve said, it's a combination of revenue increase with reducing costs. I'll now hand back to Steve.
Thanks, Michael. So what we thought we'd also do today is, and this is probably the first time we're doing this, is actually sharing sort of a breakdown of what revenue looks like between the different business units, but also what our cost base looks like between the different business units. As you can see, the Zoom2u business as a standalone business in its own right is actually able to be run as a profitable business. We spend a lot of effort in sort of obviously growing that revenue in that business, but also maintaining and reducing our cost base. We've really optimized the way in which we interact with our customers, and we've really optimized our marketing spend inside of Zoom2u. And we're working very hard and seeing this business continue to grow, but also continue to optimize the cost base there. In the Locate2u business, this is where we're spending a lot of time and money in both the development of the product, and where we see the future of this business is being able to offer a really strong product to a global market. So it's really important that we continue to invest in the development of the product and building out more functionality and really delivering a great product to our customers. But we're also spending a lot of time on the sales and marketing engine, and having a marketing engine that's going to provide us with ongoing inbound inquiries to be able to capture these new customers, as well as building a sales engine that's going to produce new customer inquiries as well. We've done a lot of work around how we're spending that money and being more efficient around the marketing, but also around the sales engine that we're building. And so you can see that we're investing heavily in the Locate2u product, and this is where we're losing money today, and this is where we expect, as the business starts to grow, that the reduction in cash burn will come from this business. And so, this is a breakdown. If anyone's got any questions, any specifics around this, happy to answer that towards the end of the presentation. So in terms of what we're building, when I think about the business today, you've got the two parts. You've got the Zoom2u and you've got the Locate2u business. But in the center of all of this is the Locate2u business, and how this is going to form is building a global last mile delivery platform. What I see that we're building today is you've got companies like retail and e-commerce businesses that have orders that they receive from their customers, and they need to get those orders delivered. They're able to deliver those through their internal fleet of their internal drivers. And we've seen this with a number of our customers where they have their own fleet of their own drivers, being able to use Locate2u to optimize their deliveries. This is in the form of route optimization, so efficiently figuring out which orders are to be delivered to which customers in the most efficient route, saving them a lot of time and money in terms of how their drivers are actually delivering. On top of this, we provide a live tracking experience so the customer can see the live location as to when that driver is arriving. But what we found as we're building out this product is that there's often times where businesses are needing to use an outsourced model, and this is where we're going to connect to a global network of carriers that will be able to fulfill their orders, and so they can use a combination of their own fleet of their own drivers as well as an external source of carriers across the world. We've been working on this project now for many months, and we expect this to be released in the coming months. And what this will allow businesses to do is to connect with a range of carriers, and whether that is someone like Zoom2u in Australia, but also other carriers across the world like Uber and DoorDash and many others. As part of this offering, what we will enable carriers to be able to do is to be able to self-sign up and to become a carrier on the Locate2u network. This will become very powerful, and the expectation is that we will have hundreds of carriers across the world being able to use Locate2u to get access to companies that are retail and e-commerce businesses that have large amounts of order volume. And so this is going to be a really powerful solution. It's going to be a really great solution for businesses that are looking for a combination between managing their own fleet, but also using an external carrier network to be able to complete their deliveries. And ultimately, this is all around providing customers with a great experience and a great delivery experience. A big part of building this business in the first place was how do we improve the delivery experience and let customers know when orders are actually arriving. And by using the Locate2u platform, this will enable that to actually take place. So as I mentioned earlier, we've got two parts of our business today. When we started, it was with Zoom2u. Today, we also have the Locate2u business. The Zoom2u business is operating in Australia and will continue to operate in the Australian market. We've completed millions of deliveries through this platform, and we have a large driver pool across the country. We operate in vans, cars, but also bikes, and we deliver a range of different parcels across Australia. As mentioned earlier, you can see sort of our results, and we've broken this down between the Zoom2u business and the Locate2u business. And you can see here that the revenue for the calendar year of 22 versus 21 is slightly lower. What we saw in the 21 year was obviously COVID, and we had increased volumes from a number of our customers during the COVID period. This has dropped off, and now we're starting to see some normalisation of the numbers appearing. But when you compare the calendar year of 23 versus the earlier years, you can still see that there's growth happening inside of the Zoom2u business. In terms of how we make our money, we're typically taking a transaction fee, and that transaction fee is 20% of the value of the delivery fee that's paid by the customer. And I thought I would touch on today just the types of deliveries that we're doing. We're doing everything from a single delivery, and that example here is a laptop that was delivered in 81 minutes between Sydney and Wollongong. And we do lots of these on a daily basis with a range of different types of customers that are using us. This could be a retail business, it could be an e-commerce business, but it could just be an individual who's looking for something to be sent and needs something delivered on an urgent basis. But on the left-hand side here, what you can see is a run of deliveries. And this is a live run where a company has requested that we go to a particular warehouse. They've got 60 deliveries that need to be delivered, and the system has built the route for the driver. And so the driver can turn up to that location and know exactly how to actually complete those deliveries in the most efficient route. It means that the cost of this delivery can be significantly less, and so this is an average of an $8 delivery because there's large amounts of density inside of this business. So we're able to do this in a profitable way, and we're delivering really great value to the driver, but also to the customer in terms of being able to provide those types of deliveries. From a strategic point of view and what we're thinking about in terms of the business, there's three key things on the Zoom2u marketplace. One is optimizing our operations, and we're still working on a number of areas that we think we can optimize the business. This is around sort of our interactions with drivers, but also interactions with customers, and making those efficient as possible and reducing the cost of being able to provide the service that we provide through the marketplace. Optimizing our marketing and doing that as efficiently as possible. We spend a lot of time in making sure that where we're spending money, it's providing a return on investment. And maintaining our financial discipline. That's making sure that we've got the right number of people to match the revenue that we're doing, and making sure that we continue to drive towards being a profitable business on the Zoom2u side. And so you can see here in looking at our expenses over the past sort of 3 quarters and how we've been able to optimize that and reduce the cost base in different areas of the business, and you can see it's broken down across those different areas. Okay, so moving along onto Locate2u. So as I mentioned earlier, Locate2u, it's a last mile delivery product designed for a range of different types of businesses, from courier businesses through to e-commerce and retail businesses. This product has been designed from scratch, and one of the advantages in us building this business was around us having all the experience that we had in building the Zoom2u business. A lot of our developers were part of building the Zoom2u product, so they understand what we've built, and we understand the detail of what's required when we're building a product like this. We provide things like GPS tracking for customers, but route optimization is one of the key areas that the companies are using this product. Particularly now, in an environment where businesses are focused on profitability, Locate2u is really well positioned, because a lot of these businesses are thinking about how they can efficiently optimize their deliveries and reduce cost of their drivers being able to do that efficiently. And Locate2u allows them to actually do that. It's a fully fledged product going right the way through a driver app with proof of delivery, so capturing when products have been delivered. But also importantly, what you can see on the left-hand side there is that live tracking link, and being able to enable that so companies can have that Uber-style delivery experience and being able to track that live location of their driver. This is a product that we're selling across the world now, and we've got customers in many countries. What you're starting to see here now is the increase in revenue that we're seeing in the Locate2u business is growing, and when we listed in September 21, it made up of 4% of the overall group revenue, whereas today it's making up 39% of the overall group revenue. And so all the investment that we've been making in the Locate2u product from a sales and marketing, but also from a development point of view, is starting to pay off, and we're seeing that in the revenue growth that you're seeing in these numbers today. Over this last quarter, we've signed a number of new customers, but the highlights for us was the JFC Australia, which is the Japan Food Corporation, using our product to assist with managing the delivery process of their drivers to their customers for their product. But also Beaumont Tiles, obviously using it for the delivery of their tiles and managing all of their trucks across Australia. There's been a number of SMEs that have signed up and started to use the product across the world. And what we have also seen is the increase of existing customers increasing their numbers of users. The Mayo Clinic being one, which has gone from a small user base of 5 or 10 licenses now through to 90 licenses. And so that's really encouraging to see these companies that trialed our product or rolled out a small subset of their users on it and now being able to increase those numbers of users. We've seen the same thing with Bing Lee, a retailer here in New South Wales, doing that as well. In terms of how we sell this and sell the Locate2u product, we're typically selling it on a subscription base that's paid on a monthly user, and it's based on the types of functionality that they're after. There's customers that are using it just for GPS tracking, but there's also customers that are using it for building their routes, managing all of their deliveries and full dispatch of those bookings out to their mobile users. And so that's where you start to see price increase. So we're not focused on the GPS side of things, we're focused more on companies that are doing the route optimization, but we see GPS as a way of getting our foot in the door, allowing companies to start using the product and then upgrading them to the fully featured product, which will increase the overall revenue that we capture from each of those customers. And that's a really important part of what we do. We also have an enterprise pricing plan where we're dealing with larger corporates, and this is where we may be doing some customization, some integration into their existing systems, allowing them to really integrate Locate2u tightly into their business. So there's a number of things that we're thinking about from a strategic point of view. We're investing obviously in our platform, and this is where we're heavily building on the product, and we're building out new functionality, and we'll talk a little bit more about that shortly. We're optimizing and building on our marketing engine, and this has been a key focus in what we've been doing over the last, over the many months prior to today. We're simplifying the onboarding process and making that more scalable. So as we onboard a customer, they go through a really nice onboarding process to really make sure they're using the product. Making sure customers use our product and get value from our product is very important, because this will lead to increased numbers of users into the future. And while doing all of these things, we're working with obviously Michael, our CFO, in maintaining the financial discipline and making sure that we're not spending too much money, and we're heading towards profitability as quickly as we possibly, as what makes sense for the business. In terms of the building of the platform, there's a couple of key areas that we're working on. One is this carrier network, which is allowing us, companies that are using the product to connect to many carriers across the world when they have overflow of work or when they're wanting to use particular carriers for types of their work. We think this is going to be a really key feature that's going to be released and really liked by our customers. The billing module is a second key thing that we're working on, and this will enable courier companies and transport companies across the world to be able to use Locate2u end to end. And so Locate2u will be able to be used to manage all of their deliveries, but also to manage the billing of those deliveries so their customers can actually be billed through using the Locate2u product. Again, this is something that we've been working on for many months, and over the coming months we expect this to be released. Alongside this, there's a large number of improvements that we've been making to the product, and on a weekly basis you're seeing new updates being rolled out. And this is feedback from customers, but also internal ideas that we've had in the product. And these are generally tweaks that are going to make the product better for our customers. And this is a really key part in building a SaaS platform, as you're continually trying to improve the functionality in the product. From our sales and marketing engine, there's a lot of work that's going in here, particularly around the generation of content. You'll see if you do a search on YouTube, TikTok, content that we've been creating. There's a large amount of content that has been created, and these contents is being seen by views, but also increased traffic to our website. One of the key reasons why we're working on this content strategy is this allows us to acquire customers at a much cheaper rate than paying for paid ad spend. And so as a long-term strategy, this makes a lot of sense for our business. And when we think about what we're building today, we're not building for this quarter or next quarter, we're building for the next 10 years of this business. And having a really strong content strategy takes time and investment, but it's going to mean that we're going to be able to acquire customers much cheaper into the future. We also spend a lot of time around optimizing where we're doing our paid marketing spend and continue to sort of test and try new ads and making sure those ads result in new leads coming into the business. And what we're also spending a lot of time on is optimizing the actual website design, but also the content to try and increase the conversion of people coming to our site and converting those directly into a trial. Over this last quarter, customers can now go to our website, they can sign up for a trial, get instant access to the product and start being able to use it. And I think this is a really great feature in the product. Once they become a customer, then we want to make sure that they're engaged and they're using the product really well. And we spend a lot of time in making sure that onboarding process is working really nicely. We've recently rolled out a new customer CRM system for our customers to really track the performance and usage of the product, and really looking to see how we can grow revenue from that existing customer base and making sure those existing customers are happy. And we continue to build video content that explains how the product can actually be used. There's a large number of videos now as you log into the platform that explains end-to-end how to actually use the system. And this is really great for our customers to be able to self-service themselves and being able to use the product. And we see this as a key feature in us moving forward and continue to build out this video content. As you can see here, this is our cost base for the Locate2u business, and you can see that we have been able to restructure that. We've been able to reduce some costs inside of that business, and we'll continue to look to how we can optimize the cost base. But what we're really focused right now on is building the revenue base on the Locate2u business, increasing the revenue and adding more customers into the product, but efficiently doing that by really sort of making sure that we're spending efficiently on our marketing and sales functions inside of the business. So as an investor, if you have any questions, we've got our investor portal, which provides all the latest updates that we have inside of the business. I'll also encourage you to register for the SMS alert updates. A number of investors have registered for this, and this allows us to alert you really quickly if there's an update that's happening inside of the business, but obviously being able to do that via email as well. And thirdly, there's the ability to meet on a regular basis with our team if you wanted to have some one-on-one time where we can understand some of our products in better, then you're happy to meet with investors to do that. So in summary, we're building a global last mile SaaS platform with Locate2u, and this is connecting Zoom2u into that business, but also allowing our customers to have a really great product to help them deliver. And ultimately, that's what we're focused on doing, is building a great product for our customers. We've spent a lot of time in optimizing our cost base and reducing our cash burn, and we'll continue to work on that heavily to see that we move towards profitability as quickly as possible. As a business, every single person inside of our organization today is focused on doing that, and I think we're making some really great stride towards that, heading towards that profitability. I'll now open for Q&A and happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, Steve and Michael. We have received a few questions. So the first question is for Michael. Cash burn has been reduced notably, well done, but where did the reduction come from? Is your team now smaller?
Yep, thanks, Georgia. It's come from across the business. We've had a real focus on all of our spend, but the biggest areas, which are our biggest costs, are people and marketing. If you look at our 4C from the September quarter, our marketing spend was about $310,000, and in the latest quarter it was $135,000, so a reduction there. And I think it comes back to what Steve was talking about in terms of the change in our marketing activities away from paid ads. And then also our staff costs, which is our largest costs. In the September quarter, they were 1.3 million, down to about 1.1 million in this latest quarter. And in our Q2 activities report, we noted that our staff count had reduced from 112 at June 22 to 89 at the end of January 23. some very minor reductions since then. But yeah, that gives you an indication of where the cost savings have come from. Thanks, Georgia.
Thanks. Next one's for Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please talk on Freight Match and how it fits into the Zoom2u strategy?
Yeah, so Freight Match was a business that we acquired, was probably back in 2016. And what we found with a lot of the Zoom2u customers is that they were wanting, smaller parcels delivered, but also the ability to deliver large parcels. And so we see pallets being requested to be delivered, but also larger items. And this was a great acquisition. At the time, I think it cost us about 250K or thereabouts, and delivered meaningful revenue in the business. And so ultimately, it was around delivering something to our customers, which is what they were wanting, and being able to provide that single solution, whether it was a small parcel right the way through to a large parcel. And that continues to be, the case today with the customers that we're working with.
Next one is recent reports show staff in Syria, the UAE, etc. Are these just remote workers or actual sales/support officers for those places and time zones? How many countries have sales offices and customers for Locate2u now?
Yeah, so we don't have any other offices outside of Australia. All of our staff work remotely, and they work from different locations. We have reduced our overall size of our headcount today. Most of our staff today sit in either Sydney, Manila, and also South Africa, and that's where we operate in. On the Locate2u business, we now run 24 hours by 5 days a week, and that's mostly serviced through our South African support team there, and we've got a number of support agents that are working there. On the Zoom2u business is mostly supported through our Manila office from a customer service point of view. That's operating from about 8 a.m. through to about 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Steve, again, what's the minimum population density you would recommend to clients to get the most out of Zoom2u cost-wise?
I think it really varies depending on the type of product that a customer is actually sending. If you've got a company that's delivering a product that's worth $1,000 versus a company that's delivering a product that's worth $20, the economics of what the cost of that delivery makes sense for that business is very, very different. And so it really comes down to on a cost basis. If they've got low value items, obviously the larger number of deliveries that a driver can actually pick up in one go is the more efficient that those deliveries are going to be able to be. And also the time window that driver has to actually complete those deliveries will reflect the cost. And so if you're saying that you need products delivered within 1 hour, it's going to be more expensive than if you've got 8 hours to actually deliver that. If a driver's got the ability to pick up parcels from one customer, but then also add on many other customers, that allows them to become more efficient, and then it reduces the cost base. So it really varies on a different types of products, but different types of customers to see whether that's going to be efficient for that customer. And these are the conversations that we have with our customers on a regular basis.
Great. Again, Steve, what moat do you have? Seems like low barriers to entry into the space for competitors.
I think it would depend on which business you're talking about, and I think both businesses, it's very challenging to enter into either business. And when you think about the Zoom2u business, you're building a two-sided marketplace. So you're having to build customers and you're having to build drivers at the exact same time, and being able to do that is extremely challenging. Being able to just do 10 deliveries and have one driver is one thing, but being able to handle thousands of deliveries on a daily basis and being able to have those across a country is very, very challenging. A big part of the success that we've had in the Zoom2u business is around our search optimization. And when you go and search for same-day courier or express courier on Google, you'll note that we're actually listed there in the Zoom2u on that first page. But also, we've got a number of different domain names that we operate under. So if you look at samedayexpress.com.au, urgentexpresscourier.com.au, these are all domain names that we actually own and have acquired over many years. And these all are traffic that we receive. We don't pay for that traffic other than what we originally paid for those domain names and the content that we deliver to them. And so this is, I see, as a real competitive advantage in us ability to actually acquire customers. And that's going to be your most expensive cost in bringing customers on board. From a Locate2u point of view, One of our key sort of advantages is around the fact that we've had the experience in what we're building in Zoom2u, and so the quality of the product that we've been building in the Locate2U business is significantly better than what our competitors are, and that's because of the experience that we've had. But also, there's a lot of time and effort that's gone into building the Locate2U product, and it's definitely not something that someone can replicate very easily.
The next question is, what non-online marketing is being done? For example, trade fairs, print ads, or public transport advertising?
Zero. And that's very purposely. We've experimented over the years with a number of sort of offline activity, and you certainly don't get a return on investment, and I think the days of doing that are limited. And so, yeah, we'll continue to really make sure that we're spending dollars that drive a return for our investors.
We do have some branded vans
Correct.
around the streets, you may have seen, but that's it.
Yeah. So we do have, we've got some branded vans that we run that have Zoom2u branding on them. We don't own those brands, except we've got one that we do own, but other than that we don't. And these is where we pay a monthly fee to have them essentially wrapped with our branding on there.
Thanks, Steve. Last question. No, that's all we actually have time for today. So thanks to everyone that actually asked questions. That also concludes the Q&A section at today's webinar. Thank you to everyone for attending and your support of Zoom2u Technologies. Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.